Welcome back everyone to episode 2 of Let's Play Command Ops 2. So in the last episode we barely got started. We just have really just begun our attack on Steinebruck. We have our 2 battalions that are moving up, and so far it looks like they are presenting a pretty unified front to the enemy, which is great to see. We also need to make sure that we get all our counter stuff back. So we only have visibility of 2 of these units. It looks like the unit here has been displaced, and this unit is just now being engaged. When you see the bottom right, these icons will go blue, yellow, or red. Blue being I'm engaging an enemy, I'm actually firing. Yellow means I'm taking fire, and red means I'm taking casualties. So we probably got to help these guys out a little bit. It looks like we're still bombarding those 2 places. That's actually fine for now. Let's go ahead and start running the game. I'm going to run pretty slow at the beginning. In fact, this is the way I play most games, not at a very quick pace. It's just how I prefer to play. Now that unit that we saw that it was yellow, which means it was retreating. Green means they're not routing or retreating. So it was we already had a good indication that probably it wasn't actually there, because the last we saw of it, it was there and it was retreating. So probably that was just the last place it disappeared, and it continued running right around the corner. But the bombardment's really gearing up now, and so we don't know if this unit's actually here then, since this unit appears to be charging right into them. Oh, they are. They're definitely still there, and we just engaged them. What are we up against here? This is the 3rd Company of the 27th Fusilier Regiment, and they are taking fire from our Baker Company of the 51st Armored Infantry Battalion. We're still advancing on them. It looks like they're starting to give ground. In fact, ooh, they took another hit. The bombardment here, we're going to have to call that to a close very soon. This is actually perfect. We have gotten just very precise, a unified front for the enemy. The timetable we chose, another anti-personnel shot going out there, but the setting up of the orders seems to have been perfect. I also want to check, so it looks like our anti-aircraft is making its way over, as is Baker Company. Fantastic. So our supporting elements look like they're going to be arriving just about on time for defending against Lohmmersweiler, and it's going to be 7 o'clock when the sun is going to give everyone a little bit better visibility very soon. Right now, we're just decimating these forces. You see that everyone's basically retreating. This unit, oh, so another retreat unit we didn't even see is pulling out. Now our artillery is currently silenced, as in they don't see any, or we're not using them right now. We know there's 2 units here, and these units are going to be retreating. So maybe it's a good idea for us to kind of bombard where these guys are going to be going back to. Maybe one here and maybe one here. I've never blown the bridge itself, and I certainly hope that you can't with artillery fire, although it makes sense that you would be able to. So I'm going to try to avoid actually hitting the bridge itself. Let's move this over a little bit, and this one is a little bit north of the bridge. It looks like it. Okay, let's hope that that doesn't blow the bridge, because if it does, luckily for us, we have one engineer here, which you can see in the bottom left, has bridge building capability, but it's going to set us back. There's going to be a massive delay if we have to do that. So let's hope that that's not the case. But right now they're just routing immediately, and I haven't even seen them return fire quite yet. It'll probably take a couple minutes for that artillery to get the orders translated down. So if we wanted to see this one. Yep, they've gotten their orders now, so they're engaging again. That's probably perfect. We see one engineer group has pulled back here. We don't know what's going on with the Lohmmersweiler forces, though. We suspect, although Baker Company is being set up on the hill, which I'm very happy about. Extremely happy to see that. In about 3 minutes, we're going to get a better visibility of all the units on the ridgeline here. But I think our artillery is just perfectly covering the route of retreat from all these units, including also probably bombarding the units that were already there. These guys are all going to be pushed back right into the artillery fire, which is just perfect. And it looks like maybe some of the Lohmmersweiler forces are moving east to reinforce Steinebruck. It's really too late for them now. We do have to watch out for any kind of anti-tank stuff. I think that there's... Oh, so we see that everything has gone to like this little reddish, orangish glow. That indicates the kind of pre-dawn. It's not really nighttime anymore. It's not quite full sunrise, but it's this... the beginning, daybreak, I would say. Daybreak has begun, and we'll have a full sunrise, which means full visibility by 0800. Right now, I think things are working out really well. Our plan is working. Okay, so we're starting to get visibility. So right now, I probably should check on the line of sight area of this unit. Okay, now we see things a lot better. So orange is probably the best we could hope for all the way out here, and we can see that this unit covers a very large range with orange. It looks like because of, let me disengage this for a second, because of the hilltop here, we can't see over this ridge very well, but nonetheless, that is better than I expected, honestly. Yeah, and actually moving any further down the hill would be a negative, but also moving further up the hill doesn't seem to help either. So we actually nailed it. We got it just right, which I can't say that was, I mean, a little bit of looking around and trying to be careful, but probably also a little bit of luck. Good. It's great to see that the 51st is moving up perfectly. We have their front elements. So they say they're doing left echelon, but I don't believe that. It does look like they're doing staggered. Yeah, it says their assault is left echelon. But it doesn't look like a left echelon to me. It looks like, what is it called? Consecutive lines? Successive lines. It looks like successive lines to me, 1 and 2. But I might be mistaken. And we have left echelon from the infantry here. Also doesn't really appear to be that way because Baker has passed up Able. But so far we've really taken, what we're going to see on the left is the personnel. A lot of these units didn't start with 100%, so don't think that we've started with these losses. What you're going to see, and I don't think we have any unit that's taken any losses quite yet, is the light color here is going to start to fill the personnel bar from the right to the left as we lose personnel that we started with at the beginning of this mission. So if there's this shade appearing over here, that means personnel that we actually started losing. So far, it looks like our attack has just gone off. I mean, I would say much better than I expected. We do have to watch out for some of these, this is artillery, so I always like to suppress artillery the moment I see it. We'll wait for either the 66th or the 22nd to free up, and then we'll probably get one of the two to start suppressing. Oh, it looks like they're moving, what do we have here? Some Stugs. Oh man. Very good anti-armor units. These are not turreted, but let's see, was it? Yeah, the anti-tank guns. You guys have probably all heard of this, Doug, but it's very. There's a specific designation, fixed gun emplacement, something like that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But the Stug is still an excellent unit. Now, it's not actually moving that fast. We probably just saw it moving that fast, like over here or something, and we don't actually know where it is, or we thought it was over here and now it's over here, and we're just seeing. Because obviously this is a bug, right? Oh, so the 51st is finally taking a little bit of casualties, and you can see just this one blip of light blue by equipment, which means that we've lost one of our vehicles, unfortunately. So usually with the mechanized forces or armored forces, what you fear is losing your equipment. With these infantry, you really fear losing more of your personnel. So, wow, there is a lot of forces here, so let's suppress these guys. That should take care of both of them at the same time. But let's also get this massive group, put them under fire. So it looks like we're going to need to suppress these guys a little bit as well. Okay, so they are moving back. Let's just, I think preemptively I'm just going to start bombarding the forest, which is where I expect a lot of the units are going to end up. Is this anti... Yeah, they have a flak truck here. I hope we can just take that out with the units we already have. So, but even, I mean, you can't expect to take 0 casualties. I'm not like horribly surprised or mortified by the losses we're taking. it's very reasonable that in any attack you're going to take some casualties. Oh, so yeah, definitely we want, so that bombardment, yeah, I think it's, what we're doing is just fine. I think we are reacting in the correct manner. So Able Company is starting to push past the Steinebruck, the Ur River, finally. I don't know how to pronounce it, by the way, so I apologize. I know it looks like Our, but I think it's Ur. Could be wrong. And although we didn't send artillery here specifically, you can see the gray lines is indirect fire. We are getting some indirect fire over from the artillery units, which have hung back with the headquarters, and that makes sense. Otherwise, it looks like our bombardment here was perfect. That those units are retreating into the forest just as we expected. Otherwise, in the forest, I mean in the, let's see, this is Stream and Minor Road. Can I get village? So in the village itself, direct hits are decreased and area hits. So if you're in a town, you're just in general a lot safer. These guys didn't retreat the correct way because I'm already planning to push the units out of this area. So this poor guy just didn't choose correctly his retreating route. Okay, looks like the bombardment has finished. These guys are so far away, and there are loops which you'll learn about. Sorry, let me do this one. Yeah, okay. Bombardment, anti-armor, and stuff like this. Okay, good. So there are, let's see, probably grab, yeah, this is good. So what we can see is this ring way out here is maximum, so basically your 1% chance of inflicting casualties or whatever. So it's really, really far away, right? Maximum range of our anti-armor, because I have anti-armor selected. This is, I think, your 33% effectiveness range. And this, I think, I can't remember if this is 90% or something like that. Anyway, just shows you more or less how effective your fire is. Max range, and the closer you get, the more accurate you are. So that works with everything. It also exists for anti-personnel, which is more or less the same for our tank unit. But what I want to say, oh, so the further away you are, the less accurate you are. So maybe we shouldn't be focusing so much on these units. As you can see, this unit, well, it has a pretty long range for anti-personnel, but the effective range, which I would consider the middle loop, it's like your 1/3 effectiveness range, is still, we're still outside of that. And that's why I wanted to bring these guys up, because you can see with the quad 50 cals, their effective range is much larger. That's the advantage of bringing the our own quad 50 cal anti-airplane group up. So hopefully we will be effective, but they won't be. So for that reason, I'm not going to engage these guys too much. Hopefully their fire is too far away to be as effective as it should. So let's kind of focus on the forces which are close by. Let me turn off this loop. And that means focusing on these guys. So what do we have here? So we have a Panzerjäger, first company of the 12th Panzerjäger Battalion. And these guys have Panzerfaust, they have 7.5. Yeah, well, let's absolutely focus on these guys. And if we can, what we'll try to do is maybe even get both. No, we can't really do that, so we'll just focus on getting these guys. Of course, we want to make sure that we're not hitting our own companies. We have Baker and Able right close to where we want to land the bombardment. So we'll have to move this back a little bit more. I think that will be about right. Okay, let's see. Yep, just missed it. And right here, just missed it again. I'm going to leave, sometimes when you're this close, it's nice to leave avoid friendlies off. But because I'm not sure if these guys are moving or not, if they continue to advance, they will move into my line of fire. I guess I'll take avoid friendlies off so we continue to engage, and I'll just keep an eye on this situation very closely. Hopefully, I suspect this unit is actually going to fall back very quickly though. So let me kind of move it a little bit more up and back, like so, which is where I suspect that they will, that they are going to begin to retreat up the road. That's what I predict. That's why I sent the 51st to end their movement over here, partly obviously to defend them from the Lomorsweiler units, which we can see why that was the reason. I mean, we can see why that was a good thing to do, because these guys are a threat. But also I suspect these guys are going to fall back to the north. So, okay, so that's one bombardment. Where do we get our other? Well, it looks like they're still pulling back here. I can't tell if these units are still there or not. So I'm going to wait just one moment with the 22nd to see where to put them. Oh, this is our Stug. So let's just go ahead and bring the heat right here. I do not want these Stugs to survive. I want to suppress them as much as possible. Looks like that's fine. Okay, this one might be... Let's try to make sure we're not killing our own guys. We're very close there, so move that back a little bit. We'll move it right above. I was trying to squeeze off a little bit onto these guys as well. Yeah, it looks like we're okay if we push this up just a smidge more. And I will also disable avoid friendlies so that they just keep going. So, oh gosh, Abel is moving up, so let's try to keep an eye on Abel. Yeah, I mean, Abel's about to run into a big surprise because I don't think we have we only have one anti-tank gun. I don't think we have the units necessary in this company to dispatch with a unit of Stugs. So, yeah, well, let's just bring the heat really close. I don't think it does anything to armor, but if we can even suppress or disorient them at all with that, let's just use that. Otherwise, everything else along the front is going well. These guys are going to run right into those Stugs, who luckily are engaging my infantry. Oh gosh. Abel is inside of the 20. Oh god. We're going to have to... I mean, Abel's technically in that range, but hey, we're just going to call down fire like danger close. I'll try to move that back, but it probably won't take effect until already Abel has been hit a little bit. Fair enough, though. I still think things are going okay. You know, when you have a unit here engaging our Abel company way over to the east, that's a good sign, I think. These guys have their orders like this, like this. Where's Charlie? Or, yeah, where's Charlie company supposed to go? That is... Yeah, I guess that's left echelon, so that makes sense. And Abel is... Okay, so the one that was firing here, we just want to stop that one altogether, so I'm just going to delete that using delete on the keyboard. You can see they are falling back to Lomersweiler. They are not pushing up north, but that's okay. Very soon, we're going to give the order, because remember, we have to think ahead. We got to get ahead of the OODA loop, which I butchered in the last episode, but right now, they're retreating back here, and we don't know what kind of order they're going to give. My suspicion is they're going to try to get the units from Steinebruck to help support Lomersweiler. What we can do is already give our attack order to the 35th Armored Battalion, so that by the time their orders get processed and they come up with a plan, they are pushing through Steinebruck almost the moment we capture it, and they're attacking Lomersweiler with pretty much no rest for the units who are retreating. So that means that although we haven't taken Steinebruck yet, I'm kind of looking forward. I'm just hoping by the time everything's done that these units will be attacking past the 51st and the 318th just on time, just right after they push the units out of Steinebruck. So what we're going to do is give these guys an attack order right now, and we're going to have them set up in Steinebruck, which is why I'm hoping that everything goes well here. So we're going to get them to set up in Steinebruck, and then I was holding shift while I did that, and now I'm going to click without shift. We want them to push into Lomersweiler. I'm going to get them to engage maximum rate of fire, give them maximum supply, same as I did before, because we can chew up a little bit extra supply than we normally need. I don't understand why the Lomersweiler control point is not coming up. The objective, I should say. Do we have... Yeah, it's not active yet. Can I make it active? It doesn't even start until 1200 today, but neither does this... Oh, wait. Yeah, the Breitfeld one doesn't... Can I wonder how I can change this. So basically you get points for holding the objective for a longer period of time. So far, it's dead even between the lose-win. So that means our victory points are about even with the Germans, which makes sense because the game just began. It's only been an hour and a half. Alright, well, I think we'll just give that order. Let's fine-tune the exact location it begins from. Okay, let's push this like here. And then we want it to end here, which will push them past the town. I suspect that they'll flee into that forest, which there's not a whole lot we can do about. We'll try to push them all the way out, though. And then we'll probably have to send a separate unit to kind of clear this southern area. What's going to end up happening is the Germans are going to disperse wildly. And although we will hold the key points, those dispersed forces can still be a threat. So a lot of the times you'll see, especially at night, that the German units, at great cost of their own fatigue, will just move behind and cut off your lines, or they'll try to move in to secure an objective. It's very sneaky. If you know it's like really brazen and maybe a little bit overly bold, it still causes you to really be aware of where there are gaps in your defensive lines, and you have to hold the old positions because, as is typical in like a big theater like this, you're not going to have enough forces to actually hold a pure line of units. Like, there's going to be gaps in your line, especially where you don't think the enemy forces are going to go. And for some reason, somehow, the Germans always find those lines with me. The holes, I mean. Okay, let's keep going. So we could probably... I think we've given that attack order just in time, if not maybe even a little bit late. I want to make sure that I didn't mess anything up with that. So... probably we should do the quickest route possible to get them into the attack, but I'm going to let them determine all that. Yeah, I'm okay with everything we have going on here. So these guys are ready. Are those guys actually there? You can see that their fatigue is really high already. And this is just an HQ, which we don't expect to be too much of an issue. They have 3 Panzerfaust, which that's probably the thing I'm worried about the most. Otherwise they just have their, you know, standard rifles. So we'll keep pushing then. Yep, look at that. A lot of the supporting forces didn't advance. The 51st supporting forces didn't advance as much as I wanted them to. And there again are these Stugs who are just wreaking havoc. And I don't have an armored force. You know, Abel and Baker are just right on top of each other, so I can't really call in. You can see I can't really call in artillery here because one, it's not really going to affect the Stugs that much, and two, my units are just tangled up with them in the town of Steinebruck already. Hopefully the anti-tank elements here, we have one anti-tank gun. I hope that can be effective against this unit. You can see they keep spraying, and I'm just hoping this doesn't go red to indicate the loss of... We are right on top of those units. Okay, we launched some anti-armor. That's really good. And we're launching anti-armor at them too. I wish we would be launching it there though. Oh, we're taking fire. Please not red. Another red there. That's very good. So it looks like these guys are going to take a lot of fire. And we also see that some of the, like Lohnweiler, so they're trying to get ahead of my decision loop. It looks like they might be preemptively seeing I'm going to charge towards Lohnweiler, and they're going to go back and hold Breitfeld. Now, it says in the briefing, if we remember, that it expects us to take Breitfeld only after Combat Command Baker has arrived, but I plan on doing it this turn. The 51st is going to wait for the infantry group to push up through the forest, and then I'm going to push them all the way forward to Breitfeld, where they will probably stay and hold that objective for the remainder of this scenario. So far things are going really well. I'm really happy with everything. This is the only unit that gives me massive problems every time, is this Stug. I didn't want to plan according to my knowledge. Like, I know the units that we'll be facing, and I'm trying not to react that way. I'm trying to just make my plan. You know, you roleplay a bit. You put yourself in the position of the commander. With the commander, I don't know that there are Stugs there, so I didn't intentionally put my armor in the front so that we could eliminate them, or I didn't intentionally move my anti-tank infantry group, which would have been the best. I didn't deploy them forward. I didn't forward deploy them, I should say. So now we still have this artillery not doing much, and quite a few guys are pushing back from Lomersweiler. Let's see what we're going to do here. It looks like the big engagement is going on right here. I can't really do anything about these guys, but hopefully they still have 5 stugs, unfortunately, so it doesn't look like we've inflicted any casualties there. We're taking indirect fire. It's still a good distance away, and oh gosh, these guys took a casualty. Looks like they lost one of the dual cow 37mm ones. That's okay. Otherwise, we are still laying down good fire. These guys haven't even gotten into position yet, though. They're still stuck in the get to your position phase. Still have 5 stugs, darn it. How's this guy doing? He's taking fire, but I don't see the red. We do have indirect fire being from the mortars, basically, supporting. We have here 81mm mortars. That's pretty sizable, so that's probably really good stuff. And this is what I really want to see. Abel's finally breaking into the forest. That's fantastic. They're down to 3 stugs. Okay, good. So we really inflicted some casualties on that anti-tank group. And if these guys are geared up this much, maybe we should... I don't like bombarding into the towns because it's really not as effective. But I don't really see an alternative because they are still... Let's just suppress them a little bit. Okay, let's move it that way then. Yeah, that looks good. Which should also still cover this unit, but definitely will smash that one. Okay, good. Alright, let's do it. I was holding off on the artillery a little bit. I wanted to see if there was any units this way. Remember, there were some units that pushed out this way. So, I'm going to take a drink real fast and kind of watch the action. I think our plan is coming... Oh, yeah, so it's 8 o'clock, and now visibility has become as good as it will be all day. Let's just take a look. How are we doing here? Yeah, so now it's yellow all the way over here. Very good. So you can see this is just a dip in the terrain we can't see. But otherwise, this unit has really good visibility. It's why we're able to see the units moving up and down this road, which is fantastic. These guys aren't in position yet, but they will eventually be in a good position to support. Oh, they are. Okay, finally they've gotten into position. And Charlie Company, who's still attached to the 51st, and will be, like I said, for the rest of this scenario, finally make it. We really could have used that unit supporting against the Stugs. But right now the Stugs are using their guns to attack my infantry, which is kind of what I want to see. Unfortunately, I've seen this engineer battalion, Able Company, which is an armored injured. These are the engineers. I've seen them with the red tab quite a few times. Oh wow! So it looks like our bombardment is extremely effective because there's 2 units right here, and another unit right here as well. We're just charging right into the HQ now. I can't believe it's already been 30 minutes. This is like the beauty of this game. It's so exciting. Oh wow, we practically eliminated these guys then. Alright, this is what I wanted to see. Units for infantry in the forest, which we can bombard. So who should I eliminate? I'll probably stop this guy. Let's delete this. Get him to just bombard here immediately. That unit is probably going to fall back the moment we begin bombarding them or attacking them. So let's try to preempt that. Maybe a little bit further south. Let's try to preempt that a little bit by kind of leading their backwards retreat, which I'm sure that they're going to do. Otherwise, we have an infantry company here. We don't have very good... it looks like our reliability of that information, our intel, is pretty good. What about this? It's poor. Okay. Oh, that... Geez, this... this anti-air battery group really taking a lot of fire. That's perfect artillery. That's right where I wanted it. This one's on call. It looks like Baker is a little bit too close, and we have Able also supporting. That group has... The infantry we saw up here might have fled because we don't see them anymore. So I'm going to halt that barrage. But mainly this is what we see. A lot of these units just getting smashed. And we know, because I was kind of planning for the victory. Oh, so that was actually still good bombardment. They're down to only a 2 of combat strength, so... Oh, wow. So we've actually achieved the Steinebruck Bridge objective now. We've taken it. This is just perfect. Exactly what you want to see. Every unit has a target it can fire at. Like, I don't think I've seen this beautiful of a picture in my previous playthrough of this scenario. I've only played this scenario one time, so I have an idea of what's coming up, but it wasn't this perfect, where you have this great... Nobody's blocking anybody else's line of fire. That's really wonderful. A lot of retreating. I have to say that I did eliminate a lot of units the first time. I'm a little disappointed that we weren't able to force units to surrender or destroy them outright. But you'd have to say that things are going really well for us. We are taking fire, but I don't even know what this group is, how we're even taking fire from them, because supposedly they don't have anything left. I don't know how they're doing that. Probably not worth wasting artillery on. Has it been 5 minutes since we've seen this unit? Because maybe they have retreated from there after all. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and bombard the area again anyway. And if this guy chooses to head up to the northeast, we'll probably put another artillery mission down right behind where we expect them to go. Yeah, so they're retreating. Okay, we see this guy again, but it's a pretty small unit. I don't think we'll waste artillery on that. Our artillery is landing here now. Very good. I don't know if... It just seems weird that this unit... Can't really see what's going on with it. Supposedly it's holed up there. It's not retreating or anything. Okay, these guys supposedly have stopped. So let's get this guy to bombard here. And we expect that this unit is going to pull back to the same area, so that should be a twofer. Okay, B Company has asked for emergency resupply, but we did set all these guys to maximum supply, so I think they'll be okay. Baker Company. Guess that's this one. Nope, 35th. Oh, this guy on the hill. Yeah, he shouldn't have his supply lanes blocked at all. That's a good thing. Oh boy, we encountered a whole bunch of stuff. Ah, this is their mortar platoon. Well, I'm sure that they did not want to find themselves being engulfed by an infantry company. Yet that is where they are. The left echelon seems to have been perfect. I can't complain. Again, this is why you have to trust the AI, and rightly so, they've done a good job. I think our artillery was perfectly placed. They are attacking our tanks, but that's a good distance away. We are returning fire. You know, they do have an anti-tank weapon here. Whoops. Did they just lose it? Uh-huh. I thought I was looking at an anti-tank weapon. Oh, Panzerschrecks. These guys have Panzerfaust and Panzerschrecks. Panzerschrecks being, if I'm not mistaken, Panzerschrecks are the better of the two. More like the bazooka, yeah. Whereas the Panzerfaust was like a more close ranged, if I'm not mistaken. So we should still actually see this unit because it's been 5 minutes and we can still see that they're there. So that bombardment should have been really effective. I think we should just run it back and begin that bombardment one more time. It's up. Yeah, we're about to... Let's make that pretty far back. Okay, let's see. We're boxing down to this line here. Yeah, that includes most of it. I just want to make sure I'm not hitting my own units, obviously. So, it seems about right. Finally, Able Company of the 51st is pushing up the road right where I wanted them to go, which is going to defend them against Lohmers-Weiler, and it's going to... Oh, so what we see here is our first destroyed unit was that platoon. That mortar platoon was just completely annihilated 5 minutes ago. And that's really what I want to see. You can't reinforce a unit which is completely destroyed or has surrendered. So hopefully there's more of that to come. And we are moving. We have our two nice ridgeline elements defending. Everything's looking really, really good. I'm extremely happy. And look at that, just perfectly on cue, the 35th Tank Battalion is beginning its move. They're going to form up in Steinebruck and push our current advantage on towards Lohmers-Weiler. So I would say that things are going fantastic for us so far. In a second, we'll probably start switching our artillery over from the east in Steinebruck to the west in Lohmers-Weiler to begin prepping for our assault there. But I think that this is actually a great place. Oh, looks like that unit is still there, so I'm glad that we've been bombarding the heck out of it. The fatigue is so high for them now. 2/3 fatigue level. And this HQ is trying to retreat back into the cover of the forest, but that's why I planned my infantry to go there. So I'm actually going to pause the game here, and I will call this video to a close here. It looks like another unit has surrendered. That's their anti-tank group, whoops, I want that up still. That was the Stugs, so the Stug group has been eliminated as well. 2 units down, and we're really pushing our advantage. It looks like the decision making we've done so far, just by luck, or, you know, it helps that I'm getting the timing of these things down. The 35th is advancing towards Lohmers-Weiler just as we secured Steinebruck, so really very good coordination between those units. Yeah, but like I said, that's going to call this video to a close. I mentioned I was going to talk about the purchasing options. I'll try to cover that in episode 3. But for now, I've left a link in the description where you can go and grab the core engine so you can play along with me, or do any of the other 2 scenarios. That's all just for free. You just have to create an account on Lock and Load Publishing. Hopefully more on that in the next episode, so we can talk about purchasing it and the options and all that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for episode 3 coming soon. Until then, thanks for watching.